Hello, my name is Stacey Persinger. I am the general manager of membership at the club at Horseshoe Bay Resort. And I have the privilege of chatting with Eileen Hurd today, who is really our first member because she is our founder of our club community in Horseshoe Bay. And thank you for meeting today.
You're very welcome.
And you've been on babysitting detail the last, okay. One and 4 years old, the
Well, a
grandchildren?
little bit older than that.
Okay.
I am full in.
All right. Well, thank you for having some energy for our interview today. So, and I'm very blessed because we have a mutual friend in our 100-year-old friend, Betty Stopp. And when we would have lunches together, Eileen would drop little tidbits about the history of Horseshoe Bay, and I just couldn't get enough of it. So now I get to ask a whole bunch of questions today. We'll keep it easy and short, though, I promise.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I've got a list of questions that a lot of people have asked me to ask you. So we'll just kind of go through it and see where we go.
Okay.
All right, perfect. So I think the first thing is, I know it's Norman and Wayne are really the founders and you. How was this land even discovered?
It was when Norman was looking, and his wife Dorothy were looking for waterfront property, and they lived in Houston, but they heard about some places in this area on this.
Now, were they looking for development or just a place to
Just a
live?
place to live on the waterfront, and I think they found a place. Actually, it was in Marble Falls, close to the bridge going over the river in Marble Falls. That's where they lived when we first started Horseshoe Bay. But he called Wayne and he said, I want you to come and look at some lakefront property. And Wayne said, no, I can't. I'm too busy with Las Colinas. Well, he got nagged out enough times that he finally came down with Norman and looked at the property, and he was sold. He really, because he knew Las Colinas was coming to the end of the development.
So he was the developer at Las Colinas,
Yeah.
Wayne was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So he kind of there was a vision then, right? When they said, hey, Eileen, here's our vision, what do you think?
I was puzzled. I wasn't sure about doing that. What Wayne taking on more work.
And
But I liked it down here, really did. Once we got here and found a little rent house, it was mainly all of the family. Wayne had a brother working, and temporarily, and then we had Norman's side of the family helping us.
so do you think that their vision, when you see it today, would they say, hey, this is what we saw, this is what we wanted?
They'd be very pleased, yes. Very pleased with that.
I love that. Well, we'll go back a little bit into kind of the early days. You know, when you bought the Lupton Ranch, right? And it's Coca-Cola. So the Luptons were with Coca-Cola.
They had the Coca-Cola franchise, yes.
And so on the land, was there evidence of like ranching? Was there horses?
It was.
Okay, so what was here? What
They
was
had a
here?
ranch here. In fact, where we ended up building our house, that's where all the cattle were, a lot of the cattle was. Wayne and Norman wanted to look at it, so they opened the old gate that was there, and were met by the foreman with a rifle sitting on a horseback.
Oh no, tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, but he wouldn't let them come on the property. They had to get permission from the Luptons, and Luptons had to tell the foreman it was okay.
Okay. One of the questions was also about, I'm from Miami and tropical, and then you tell me this is this tropical oasis in the heart of the hill country, and I'm thinking there are a lot of tropical elements, the water, the rocks. Well, how did that all come to be? Was that a Norman vision, or?
I think it probably was a lot of Norman's vision, because he was the artist. His sister was an artist, and Wayne was more the spade and shovel type.
So when you think about the property today, what do you think Wayne would be most proud of?
I think that they kept up his request and his suggestion that working with PEC on where their power lines were, and power line easement coming back, in that separate place, and then people with the businesses and the stores along the highway there, making them go back so many feet, not have them right at the highway, right at the curb.
And that's part of what makes this town so special. It doesn't look like a busy city.
Wayne started talking to some of the ministers in Marble Falls. It took them up the hill in a Jeep. There's no road going up to where the church is. where the Catholic Church is. But so finally, somebody that played tennis with a Catholic minister that came out on weekends to play with them. And
No, is this Father Dalton? Or no? It is? Okay.
And he said, well, I think this is beautiful up there on top of the hill. He said, but I'd have to bring the bishop out. So they brought the bishop up from Austin and showed him where they were thinking of doing the church, because it's changed a lot since it was originally built. And then he stepped back and said to Wayne, if he says no to your offer, I'm going to push him over the air.
And that is high up there, by the way, in a rocky fault.
Yeah. They came to an agreement.
Oh, I have a story I have to ask you. All right. So you're going to give us the truth. The name, Horseshoe Bay. Where did the name come from?
Norman asked Wayne to come and look at the property, and they did get permission from the Luptons to walk out on the property, on the ranch. And so they walked down to water's edge. And Wayne, knowing him, he walked all the way up the hills in Burma. He just started walking out there and tripped over or stubbed his toe on a horseshoe down in the sand.
So it's kind of a true story then. I've heard this. I thought it was a story.
We had it. And finally, after Wayne had passed away, I asked Ron if he would hang it in the yacht club somewhere, because we had a little plaque, and I don't know whether he did or not.
We need to find Ron Mitchell. We're finding that horseshoe. We've got to have that. That's a true story. I love it. And then it just became such a beautiful waterfront boating community, right? Everybody in Texas wanting to escape and come here.
And, of course, then having built the lighthouse, that kind of was part of it, mainly because, well, they thought it would be ugly to have that big piece of land going out there. You know why they had to build that peninsula? They built that peninsula.
That is no.
They had to build out that peninsula going out because of a power plant. And the water came from the main body of the lake and then back around towards the power plant. It kind of made it a certain, the heat of the water or something when they used it.
With the current or something, the way it...
Hold on, okay. Don't ask me.
Oh yeah, no. But there was a reason for it. That's good. That's a good answer still. It's a very special place, and that's thanks to you. You have given us this gift for those who just visit as a getaway home, or it's our full-time home. You have created quite a club community, and I think on behalf of everybody, thank you.
Well, I thank everybody else for coming here.